YouTube video. I'm here to be reviewing, got a lot of album reviews to review as I've not been on YouTube for a while, got a lot of new pickups, so here's the reviews. The first one, Drake Scorpion. This album came out recently. It starts off with Survival, good beat, good bars in, really rhyming. This is the hip hop side to the album, first disc, and he's just putting out his personal feelings, how it's his destiny from God to make it, and he talks about his struggles on Survival. That's pretty much what this track's about. Then it goes into Non-Stop, which is basically more of a street track. He's going in about a lot of things like that, really good beat, sort of really more hard hitting. Then we have Elevate, is basically about elevating people up and how he's a nice guy, and there's a bit of singing on the hook, very trap style beat, really okay there. Then we have Emotionless, basically he's putting out his emotions out there, talks about how he feels about certain situations he's been in, with the Pusha T beef, and how he's a nice guy, etc. Really got an emotional beat to it. Quite a good song on that. Then we have God's Plan, the single, which everyone knows, it's a meme. A lot of people talk about this song, one of the big singles of this album. Know what the track's about. Basically talking about God and his plan for him to make it big in the music business. We have I'm Upset, is basically what the track implies, it's about him being upset. And then we have 8 out of 10 is the next track. Then I want to talk about Can't Take a Joke, is basically about Pusha T taking jibes at him and saying how some people can't take a joke, sort of thing. And we have Sandra's Rose, brilliant song, one of the best songs on this album, very emotion driven song, very personal, storytelling, everything like that. He talks about God again, choosing him, but he does it in a good way, and the beat production was quality song. And we have Tall Cut featuring Jay-Z. It was okay, decent song. And then Is There More, is basically, is there more to life than all that? We have Peak, is where he starts singing, talks about his relationship issues, etc. Then we have Summer Games, is basically about someone he fell in love with in the summer holiday and summer fling. Then we have Jaded, which is where it's going pear-shaped and he's not too happy, and he talks about people posting on Instagram about everything they do, and that's kind of what the song's about. We have Nice for What, club banger, like hearing it, quality song. And then we have Finest, really good song, I like the beat, quality track. Then we have Ratchet Happy Birthday, again talking about someone on their birthday, and he's basically putting a diss track on that, not being very gentlemanly on this track. That's How You Feel, again another sing song. Then we have Don't Matter to Me, this is the track I want to talk about. Yeah, in my opinion, Drake sings good, the beat is good, everything else. The hook doesn't really do it for me, really. I weren't really into the chorus of the song. I think he could have got a better sample from a better track. Yeah, pretty much. Then we have After Dark. That's what I liked about Nice for What. I liked the Lauryn Hill sample, really went with the track. While I thought Don't Matter to Me, there are better MJ tracks he could have sampled. For that, we have After Dark, quality song. Then we have Final Fantasy and March 14th to end this album off. March 14 basically talks about his personal life. Yeah, I give this album maybe a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7. yeah, so that's the first one. We got Yelawolf, Trial by Fire. It starts off with Trial by Fire intro, quality song, talks about growing up in Alabama, really talks about parents' upbringing, talks about that really. It goes into Shadows, where he's really opening up, talks about growing up, what it's like in Alabama, he talks about the country life, really detailing like the countryside and Alabama, what the atmosphere is like, what the trees and all the temptations there. We have Get Mine featuring Kid Rock, banging song, quality tune, really Yelawolf. It's like an old school Kid Rock sort of song, which I like. Then we have Son of a Gun, quality song, Game. Storytelling is on point. Really talks about the southern roots, and he's really going in. He talks about his personal life, he's opening up more and more. Yeah, and he's saying how he's learnt things. Yeah. Then we have Ride or Die, is basically about people that have helped him out on the come up, like his best friends, and how, yeah, it's, and he's thankful for them, and basically he owes them that, and he still has love for them, basically. And we have Daylight, basically is a song about alcohol, drinking, that sort of thing. We have Do for Love, is basically about what people do for love, in poverty. He talks about that, how some people will do things to protect others that ain't morally right, whatever. Yeah, it's about poverty, families and things like that. We have Punk, is the next song. My least favourite track on this album, but it was still a solid track. It just, yeah, it was my least favourite song on the album, but it weren't a bad song. We have Row Your Boat, quality track. I liked every song on this album, so basically, I really like the storytelling, I like the production, I like how he was rhyming, and he basically would end it on a note and then start the next paragraph with that same way he finished it, sort of thing. That's how he was rhyming on that track. We have True to Yourself. I love this song, like the singing, good production, everything on point with this. We have Sabrina, it really talks about parenting and how he lost her in the woods and everything else. We have Violin, and then Keeps Me Alive, quality song. Definitely would give this album definitely a 9 out of 10 on this project by Yelawolf. Peace. Well, not peace, but that's the end of that review. The next one is Book of Ryan by Royce the 5'9". This is basically calling this album his autobiography. Starts with an intro which goes into Woke. Really got that trap style beat, and he really rhymes heavy on it. Somewhat conscious track with some street lines into it. If I was to describe it, it has some aggression lyrics as well as conscious lyrics. Then we have My Parallel, which goes into Caterpillar, featuring Eminem and King Green, which was a good song, really boom, good. It's a lyrical track, both of them, they're all going in lyrically, spitting rhymes. And we have Godspeed. Basically, it's implying that everything happens in time and being patient, and everything happens for a reason. Then we have Dumb, is basically about doing silly things, how he looked back on stupid things he's done and how he would have done things differently, sort of, yeah. Then we have the song Cocaine, which talks about his cocaine use in the past and then gave that up, sort of. Then we have Life is Fair, which is basically about, yeah, you reap what you sow, basically. You do evil things will come to you. If you do good things will come back around. It all plays out fairly at the end. That's basically that song. We have Bobo Tie. Basically, he's talking about growing up, basically, what it was like, a certain place he liked for memories, and he liked a bobo tie, and he talks about relationships he's had, and yeah. We have Legendary, which is a good song. Then we have Summer on Lock, quality track, just a lyrical song. They're all going in with verses, got some conscious, got it all on there, quality song. We have Outside, which is a very emotion driven song. Really recommend that song. We have Power, basically is about different forms of power, whether it's about politics and how people have power over certain people, and it's about power in general. We have Strong Friend, is basically about good friendships, good people to have around you, and yeah. And I'd really look at, there's a song called Stay Woke, which is, again, quality song. This is another album I'd rate. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for Royce. Book of Ryan. Next album review will be J. Cole, K.O.D. This album is pretty much he's covering about addiction. That's what most of the tracks are about. It starts off with intro, which goes into K.O.D., which is a really trap style beat, and he's rhyming that, and he's talking about addiction to different things on that song. Really like that song, which goes into Photograph. Again, a good song. Talking about relationships, Instagram, what happens on social media, relationships, that sort of aspect. Then we have The Cut Off, which is basically about growing up in the streets and street violence and growing up in the hood and temptations in that lifestyle. You have ATM, is basically about being addicted to money, basically, and having money, making sure you have money and being desperate to keep money, and that's basically that song. We have then Kevin's Heart, which is basically yeah, it's basically a good song about when you have a wife, basically having temptations to cheat and being unfaithful in a relationship. That's basically that. Basically about Kevin Hart cheating, but he's using it metaphorically, like a lot of people do that. Then we have Brackets, again, good song. We have Once an Addiction, talks about addiction in general, different forms of addiction, whether it's about herd money. Yeah, it's basically, yeah. We have Friends, talks about real friends and fake friends, that sort of aspect. And we have 1985 to end the album off. Basically, yeah, I really like this album. Really covers addiction well, and he's not trying to promote it, as he says. I'd give this album a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.25. Solid project. We're going to review KRS-One album. It starts off with Rappers in Danger, quality song, really got that boom bap feel. He's rhyming heavily on the track, really great way to start the album. Then it goes into The Automatic, again, great beat, great production, great lyrics, multi-syllable type rhymes, throughout. Fat Joe comes in on the track, really adds something to it, and really good song. Both great lyricists. Then we have MCs Act Like They Don't Know, an MC rappity rap track where he puts some knowledge in the song as well. Quality song. Then we have Reality, is basically talking about what's going on in the streets, what's going on in the real world. Yeah, as the song implies, it talks about secret society, he talks about what's going on in the streets, why it's happening with the poverty. Then we have Free. I really like this song, really like the production on it. We have Hold, which is again him going in. Then I want to talk about featuring Mad Lion, has more of a dancehall groove, Mad Lion adds quality on the song, got that more dancehall flavour to the song. We have Represent Real Hip Hop, is basically about dropping knowledge, and he talks about how hip hop's meant to represent the people. We have The Truth, is basically him talking about the truth, about what's going on, the government system. Then we have Build Your Skills featuring Busta Rhymes, good song, both very similar style MCs. We have Out for Fame, is basically he's talking about people that are only in for fame, and this is more of a rockish song as well. And we have Squash All Beef, is basically about beef in hip hop, we've got to squash it and unite and have more unity and stuff like that. Then we have Well, Hell's So Good, and this is a good solid album, quality album. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Classic album in my view. Then I want to talk about Dessa, Chime. You can see that. I want to talk, first song is Ride. Then it's 5 out of 6. Really good song, really opening up, talks about travelling and experiencing new things and meeting new people basically, and how people then it goes into Fire Drills, is basically about, has a similar concept, but people that if they see you on your own, they make assumptions that they're from out of town, and he talks about danger as well on that, talks about dangerous situations and monitoring it. Then we have Velodrome, good song, like the singing, very soulful, slower, quality singing, like the chorus on it. We have Good Grief, another song, good singing, very slow. Her vocals deliver well on the track and has a good melody to it. Then we have Boy Crazy, is about being in love, and it's a love song about being crazy about somebody. And I want to talk about Jump Rope, is basically, again, very similar concept. Then we have Shrimp, is basically a hip hop song where they're just rhyming for a short amount of time. And then we have Half of You, is basically, And then I Hope I'm Wrong, is basically about fame and about wanting to be wrong about certain things. This is a good album. I really enjoyed this project. This is another album I'd give a 9 out of 10 to. The next album will be Dessa Parts of Speech, which it starts with The Man I Knew, which is a good song. Really like this song, opening up about personal issues going on in her life. Then we have Call Off Your Ghost, is basically about re-meeting his ex, basically your ex's new partner, and meeting that person again, and old feelings. And then we have Warsaw, which is again has more of a drum and bass type feel to it. And then we have Skeleton Key, quality song, like how the production is, good singing, has a great piano sort of beat to it. Definitely a quality track. Then we have Dear Marie, a slow guitar song which builds up, really opening up a poetic letter to a friend. That's has diction sort of thing. I'm Going Down. It's a good song. Then we have Fighting Fish, about keep going, stay positive with personal feelings, and always remember to keep a positive attitude and really keep that going. Then we have The Lamb, which is again a great song. Really enjoyed that song as well. Yeah, I was really into that song. We have Beekeeper, is basically about a beekeeper letting someone stay at house and sort of that concept. It's Only Me, basically a slower song, more of a ballad. There was one song that sampled Bruce Springsteen's song. We have Sound of Bells as well to end the album off. This album I'd give this album maybe a 7.5 to an 8. I want to talk about this album, The Pick, The Sickle and The Shovel. This album starts with an intro, then it goes into Dangerous Minds, really great song, very conscious driven. Talks about Illuminati, talks about the society and what goes on in the ghetto, in the streets, but also talks about consciousness and spirituality on this track. Then we goes into The Bomb. It's basically about dropping jewels, dropping knowledge about astronomy and a lot of things like that. Then we have Unexplained. Is basically saying that a lot of things in life are unexplained and cannot be explained, and there's a lot of uncertainty, things we will never know, and that we've got to find out, and that's basically that track. Then we have 12 Jewels, very scientific song, talks about science, scientific theories, talks about chemistry. Really, if you're into that type of rhyming, that is the track to listen to. We have then Fairy Tales, is basically about fairy tales that people are told growing up, and he's kind of rhyming playfully about that, and it has a humour to the track. Then we have Never Gonna Come Back, which is another song. Then we have Pit of Snakes. Really enjoyed the track. Basically talks about fake people and people that are fake and tend to like people and all this sort of. Then I want to talk about The Night the Earth Cried. Really talks about all the issues that's happening in America, all the ills in the world, and how it affects the world, and how people get upset and cry about it. Basically, how damaging it is to the earth, and also has a bit of knowledge to the song as well. Yeah, it's basically, that's the track to listen to, one of the greatest singles. And then we have Elimination Process. Basically has more of an aggression to it, but also has a conscious side to it. Really owns that song, really good song. We have Repentance Day. Basically is about repenting over a lot of things that they've done wrong, that sort of. And then we have What's Going On, which is again a quality track, definitely a song to listen to. We have yeah, and then we have the outro. There was, oh yeah, Never Gonna Come Back is more of a love song. Basically, want to talk about that track, is more about a love song. But yeah, I'll give this album a 10 out of 10. Solid, quality album. I'm going to talk about this album, KRS-One, Sneak Attack. Intro, it goes in the ghetto lifestyle, talks about living the street lifestyle, what's going on in the poverty areas in New York. Talks about that sort of lifestyle. Then we have Attendance, which is a good song. We have Hot, it's basically spitting a hot track, hot party sort of song. Really enjoyed that track. Why? Talks about why certain things have to happen and why there's a lot of issues in the world, sort of. Then we have Don't Thou Know, which goes into the lesson where he's playing off the teacher, giving people lessons in life, what to do, and just really going in, basically. Then we have The Mind, which talks about how the mind is powerful and we should all try and learn and become educated and have a lot of knowledge. And we have Hip Hop Knowledge, talks about hip hop, the past and how it was good, and talks about hip hop through the years, and talks about himself as well, his music career. Then I Will Make It, again, positive thinking song about how he's going to make it and how everything, about having a positive mind. We have the song, we have Get Yourself Up, is basically, yeah, when you're feeling down, get yourself up. Really more aggression than what T.I.'s song had. A similar song, which I reviewed on No Mercy, and I said about KRS-One had a track, I think I did. Yeah, it's basically on that sort of concept, Heal Up. Then we talk about the false pride, is basically about having false pride in feeling better than everyone else and want to put other people down and not want to help out, that sort of. Yeah, and I enjoyed this album. Peace. I just want to talk about this song that, well, is a good reggae song. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's a good song. I bought it when I was in near Peckham, Camberwell, New Cross Gate, around there. Yeah, that's basically all I want to say on that. And this is my album. Peace.